the law of giving and receiving. Shabbat Shalom, as we're entering into the sixth Sabbath of this cycle, the sixth Sabbath of this yearly cycle. And this Sabbath is the Beit, the Abiyat, the Mi'raf, the Parasha, or the portion. And this particular portion and feeding is known as Tiwlid Yichinno, or in the Hebrew, Toldot, or Toledot, Toledot, or Toledot. But in the Amharic, we get this proper spin of the sound as Tiwlid, and Tiwlidim Yichinno means these are the generations, and it begins in the Orit, the Muse, or the Torah, in Genesis chapter 25, verses 19 to Genesis 28 and 9. Then from the prophets, we have the Nebiyat, or the Haftorah, which is Malachi chapter 1, verses 1 to Malachi chapter 2, verse 7. And in the Hadith Kidan, or the New Testament, New Covenant, the Brit Hadasha reading is from Romans chapter 9, verses 1 to verse 31. So what we want to go over right here is begin at the Torah reading, Genesis 25 and 19. So this is called Tiwlid, or Toldot, Toledot, which means these are the generations. 25 and 19. It deals with the generations of Yesehaq, the generations of Isaac. Also within this particular study, from Genesis 25 and 19 to Genesis 28 and 9, we have the birth of Esau and Jacob. We have the sale of the birthright. We have the Abrahamic covenant being confirmed to Yesehaq. We have the lapse of Yesehaq, or the lapse of faith of Isaac. We have very important teaching concerning the wells and the wells of Genesis. The water wells of Genesis have a very important, significant meaning and a significant name, as well as the ideas and events associated with them. We have the teaching and the mythos, the Hebraic mythos of Yesehaq as the well digger. We go on to, when we get to the 27th chapter, we have the stolen blessing, the stolen blessing. We have the blessing of the barakat of Jacob. We have Esau's unavailing remorse, which connects with the book of Hebrews chapter 12, verses 16 and 17, when he finally recognized, when he sold his birthright, what he had sold, and how he sought to get it back and could not get it back. And all of this there's lessons in each one of these parabolic sections and proverbial sections, and some would say mythological section, but the mythos is the story of it, and there's a logos or logic to it. So when we get to the 28th chapter, we have Jacob at Bethel, at Beit, the house of El, and the Abrahamic covenant, the Abrahamic al-Kidan, the word agreement, is also confirmed now to Jacob, and that is in chapter 28, and the reading of the sixth Senbet ends at verses 9. Verse 9. So this is just an overview of this particular section. I don't know how much of this we'll have an opportunity to go into the teaching, but I hope and pray that those who listen to this and those who have been moved by this good news and the gospel of the King of Kings and His Christ would get to study the weekly sabbatical studies with us. Go to our website, lojsociety.org. You can download it for yourself, the Sabbath readings, and to get more familiar with the Scripture, especially in these particular portions, from week to week. We know that a lot of folks work or they're busy 6 days a week at least, some of them even on the Sabbath day, but it's good to remember what the command says. To remember means to think about the Sabbath day. You understand? To keep it, to keep it set apart. So if there's any time that you set apart some time to study and to review and to go over scripture, hopefully it will be on the Sabbath day, and hopefully it will be in the Sabbath way with the Torah readings, the Sabbath house readings, and the Torah studies. And if you have a Schofield Study Bible, it is even much more enlightening and illuminating because of the accuracy of the study notes that are given throughout, and some of the major themes, you understand, that I touched on. As we said, this begins off where it says in verse 19, and these are the generations of Isaac, or Yesehaq, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Yesehaq, and it goes through this particular bait here where it speaks about Yesehaq was 40 years old when he took Ribkah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Pandan Aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian, and Yesehaq entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren, and Yahweh was entreated of him, and Ribkah, his wife, conceived. Now, verse 22 tells us that the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? Why am I like this? And she went to inquire of Yahweh. Something very interesting for a book that is maligned to be sexist, where we find the actual wives of the patriarch having such a relationship with the Lord, with Yahweh, with Adonai, with God, Elohim, that when they had an issue, you know what I'm saying, they could inquire of Yahweh. Here we have Ribkah, the wife of Yesehaq, our ancestor and ancestress, and she's very important in this. You understand? As well, she's inquiring. It says in verse 22, and she went to inquire of Yahweh. In other words, she went to ask Yahweh. She did not have to go to her priest. She did not even have to go to her husband in that sense, so to speak, because she could inquire of Yahweh. And Yahweh said to her, verse 23, says to her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So here we have the prophecy, or the Melokotawi Mels, or the divine answer concerning the children struggling together in Ribkah's womb, and she asking the question, if it be so, why am I thus? And she herself going and inquiring of Yahweh concerning this matter, and Yahweh revealing to her, not going to the man, not going to her friends, but the wives of the patriarchs having a spirituality that even for its time was far in advance of this pseudo-womanism and feminism and all this alleged talk and controversy of sexism in the Bible. Here's an example that we have in verse 22. In verse 22, where it says, "Lejochim behodawa wist ye gefafuna berswam indi kahone ye lene mineno alech ከእግዚአብሔርም ትጠይቅ ዘንድ ሄደች. That she went to inquire of Yahweh, why is this struggling? Why is this going on in her? You understand? And Yahweh answers her and gives her a prophecy concerning these children, Esau, Esau, and Jacob, that even in the womb, it says, even in the womb, they struggled one against the other. And it says that the elder one, the older one, shall serve the younger one.